So far, I UDF is covered. After my is basically import export tool. Okay. When we starting the scoop is data ingestion. Okay. So how to ingest the data from RDMS database? We use a scoop tool. Okay. The scoop has two features like import and export.
Arvind, your voice is little low.
Okay. Now it's good.
Yeah, now it's better.
Okay. Okay, so I was talking about the scoop, right? So we have to start. The next topic is the scoop. Okay. So when we talk about in Hadoop ecosystem, right? So how many tools so far, right? There are one is SDFS, Hadoop, this Hadoop distributed file system, MapReduce, and Hive. Okay. The next one is a scoop, and a scoop is a ingestion tool, right? It's ingest the data. So we can get the data from the RDMS database to Hadoop file system, or Hadoop file system to we can export data to RDMS database table. Okay. So it is ingestion of data from RDPMS to SDFS, or export data from SDFS to RDMS table. Okay. So any one of these we can do. Okay. So first we'll understand, right? Scoop import command. So scoop import. So scoop is not having only one utility. Scoop has the different utilities are there. Like scoop import is a one utility. Scoop job is another utility. Like we can create automation, right? We can create a reusable job. So if I write a same scoop import command 10 times, so I can write one scoop import command for scoop job. I can write a one scoop import command, and we can call again and again same job. Okay. So I don't need to write a whole scoop import command again and again. I will tell about what is in scoop import comes by scoop import having the different parameters are there. Okay, I will show those parameters. And scoop job, scoop import all table. Okay, import all table. Okay, like scoop is by default is doing one table at a time. Okay, but suppose if I have a 10 table in my RDMS database, so this RDMS database could be any database, right? It could be a MySQL database, Oracle database, SQL Server, any RDMS database. So whatever database we have, we can use the data from the RDMS data to import export from the Hadoop file system. So import all table will import all the table in the RDMS, right? So we use the scoop import all table utility. Another utility there is scoop list databases. So list databases will show you the list of databases are there in the database. Okay. So some utilities are actual importing data, but some utilities are just only giving the information, because this one is just giving the list of databases name, list of databases name. So nothing is doing more than this. Okay, it is just doing, just simply getting the list of databases from the database. And another one is a scoop list table. So list table is just getting the data table's name in a database. So list of tables in a database. Whatever database name I give, it will give the tables list within a database. There is other utilities there, scoop eval. Okay, I will talk about all these one, scoop eval, scoop code gen. Okay, so scoop is not only just we say import and export. So scoop import export, that is a one, that is a scoop import and export is two features, but more than that, scoop has the other utilities also there. Okay, so first we understand like why scoop is there. Scoop is like there is no programming needed, right? There is no only just we have to use the configuration. Okay, so first we need to install the sqoop. So how to install sqoop? It's very easy. Just we go to the sqoop download, and we go to the sqoop 1.4.7, and everything we are installing in Hadoop, right? Everything we are installing in our Ubuntu. Okay, so we have to install each and every tool, Hadoop ecosystem tool in our Ubuntu. Okay, so already we did Hadoop and Hive. We already installed. So next one is this sqoop. So we have to download this tar file. We have to go here and download this tar file, and we have to set the home path. Okay, we have to set the sqoop home path. So I show you first where I have downloaded, because my machine is already downloaded. So I'm just showing you this is downloaded here, sqoop 1.4.7, and this folder has the bin directory, conf directory, lib directory, right? So this is like sqoop libraries are there, like sqoop complete binary source. We can say binary, right? It's a sqoop binary. And this sqoop binary home path is sqoop 1.4.7 is a sqoop binaries home path. So where we have to set this path, we go to dash rc nano bashrc, and here I set the sqoop home and sqoop bin path. Okay, so here you can see the different path I set it, right? Like I set it Spark home, Hive home, HBase home. Okay, so HBase and Flume will come later. So this is the sqoop home, and sqoop home, what path I'm setting here? Slash home Arvind Softwares sqoop 1.4.7. Okay, and bin path I'm setting sqoop home slash bin. This is my path. So when I set this one, and after that I have to run the source command. When you give this entry, after that you will be doing source bash rc, because whatever changes you are going to do in bash rc, your changes will be reflected when you apply this source command. Okay, otherwise your changes will not be reflected. Once you done this, after then you can type sqoop import your commands, you can write the command. So can you see here, because it is not a complete command, just a part of the command only, sqoop import, we have to give some other parameters, then we can write any sqoop import. So one more thing we need to install. What we need to install apart from the sqoop, because sqoop is basically intermediate software, right, which is bringing the data from RDBMS and writing the data to the Hadoop file system, right? So we have installed that software, okay, which is bringing the data. But from where it is bringing the data? From where it is bringing data? Can anyone tell from where it is bringing the data? We are discussing, right, from where it is bringing the data, from where it is fetching the data. I'm asking very
From
simple.
HDFS.
Hmm?
RDMS.
RDMS database, right? We are talking about, see, export also we can do like Hadoop to RDMS, but so far we are talking about the import command. We are not talking about the export command. When we are talking about the import command means something will be coming from other source, right? And source is here RDMS, and RDMS database we will use MySQL. We have other RDMS options are there, Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, DB2, all these are the RDMS database. But why we are going for MySQL? Because MySQL is easy to install and we don't have, it's an open source, right? Oracle is a licensed version, right? So we have some complications, but whatever we do with the MySQL, the same thing we can do with the other RDMS database. Just their username, password, URL, that value will change. Okay. So another things we have to install MySQL. So MySQL installation, I will give this all links to you. MySQL, you go to the DigitalOcean, this link, and start from the MySQL. So first you will do in the Ubuntu sudo apt update command, sudo apt install MySQL server, sudo this MySQL service. You will start the MySQL service and follow this one to set your username, password, and then finally you log in with your credential. So -p, after that you will do the password, whatever password you kept it, you can do. Okay, so if you are able to log in with the MySQL, so I will open the MySQL here. So I will be MySQL -u root and -p. I kept it password is a password. So you can keep it anything. Okay. When you are configuring the MySQL, then that after that installation, you can keep it password. So now if you see here, show databases. Show databases, it will be showing me the list of databases in my MySQL. So I want to see in a particular database table. So I will use the, or if I can create a new database, create. So once I create a database, I have to use this with database sqoop underscore new. Okay. And this database, I should create a table first, and then I will, once I create a table, then I will import the data. Okay. So first I'm not installing the MySQL and I'm not configuring the scoop. So that part you can see in my installation video. There I have configured. Okay. So these two things, right? How to set up the MySQL and set up the your scoop. Okay. One more thing, what we have to do, because we are using MySQL, we have to download the MySQL connector jar and copy here this MySQL connector jar. We have to download from the Google, and we have to this jar. So this particular jar, like this particular jar, we have to. So I'm giving a name of this jar. So this jar is, we have to find on Google. So this is just, if you type it like this, MySQL connector jar download 1 point, like, okay, so this jar will come. So this jar you can download from anywhere, like you can go to Maven repo and download this jar. If you click on this, it will download the jar. The jar is downloaded. Jar is downloaded. Okay. So this jar you have to download in the Ubuntu. Okay. And once your jar is downloaded, copy the jar in the lib folder. Why we are keeping in the lib? Because if you are not providing the jar here, you cannot connect to the MySQL database. Okay. You know, right? Some JDBC program you are writing in any programming language, right? Java, Python, you need a library jars, right? So same thing, Scoop is internally using a Java code only. Scoop is writing. So whatever script we write, right? Whatever script we write, Scoop import script, what we are writing here, this scoop import command. This scoop import command is doing nothing but a Java code in the backend, and which is using this driver jar and connect to the database and get the data and write the data to the Hadoop file system. Okay. So that is the reason this jar is needed. Suppose you are connecting to Oracle or SQL Server or DB2 on any other database. So whatever database you are going to connect, you need that driver jar, right? Suppose you are connecting to the SQL Server. So JDBC is SQL JDBC jar is there. If you are connecting to Oracle, OJDBC jar is there. Okay, you are connecting to DB2. So DB2 connector jar is there. So every database has its driver jar. Okay. Okay. So first, like we have to install Scoop. Second, we have to install MySQL. And third step, we have to set this driver jar. Okay, these all steps are written in my document. Okay. So I will be sharing you to, then you can, in the classroom links, I will upload the document. So it will be easy to understand, right? Step by step to follow. Okay. Okay. So you all guys know this is our classroom links. I have already shared this one class code. Okay, so you can join this classroom. So far, this is all covered. Okay, so you can see the previous videos, all these things. Okay, so I will add today's scoop here. Okay, And I have already shared you the previous classroom links. So you can take the benefit of those other classroom links, right? All this, already topics are covered, right? So that will help you to understand, right? So scoop sessions, you can see all scoop sessions. So you will get idea, right? How to, um, you can just take it up things before, okay? So these are the some running notes things, right? Like, okay, I explained that, right? Okay, we have a scoop ingestion tool. Okay, another one ingestion tool is there, Flume, but Flume is for semi-structured and unstructured data. But Scoop is used for structured data, that actually I have not told here. So Scoop is basically used for structured data. So structured data is a data which is the data has a dimension. So data which is having fixed dimension. The data which is having the fixed dimension, that is called the data which has the having a fixed dimension. Like, why I'm saying the structured data? Suppose I say name. So name is a particular a person name, right? Is a string type. If I say age is a particular person is the number type, integer type, right? So I can easily fix. It's a fixed dimension. It's a fixed dimension. So that is the reason it is called the structured data. And what is the unstructured and semi-structured data? Unstructured data, which is completely data which is not fixed dimension. And like I can say the example of audio, photos, pics, okay, picture, okay, so those are the video. So these are having a special APIs, like audio processing API is there, okay, image processing APIs are there. So there is a separate APIs are there, because we cannot measure the data with the traditional tool, okay. So image processing APIs, okay. And another type of data is semi-structured. Semi-structured data is like our data is in the file. Okay, so unstructured data is also called file. Like file means file itself is unstructured, but data in this file is structured. So now this CSV file and JSON file, CSV file, JSON file, XML file, these are the semi-structured data. Okay, XML file or email. Email has the subject is structured. Okay, but body, oh, but attachment is image file that is unstructured. Okay, so this kind of categories of the data is there. So Flume is used for these two types of data handling. Okay, so Flume is for semi-structured and unstructured data handling. Okay, and Flume is also export import tool. Like we can ingest the data, we can ingest data from different sources, okay, into Hadoop file system. Okay, so if I say like if I say Twitter, so Twitter is getting the streaming data. Okay, streaming data is unstructured data, semi-structured data. So this kind of structured, semi-structured data, we can get it through the Flume. So this is also ingestion tool. The difference in the Scoop and Flume is Scoop is only for structure, and Flume is unstructured and semi-structured. But even it can do structure also, because Flume has the architecture source, sink, and channel. Okay, source, channel, and sink. So if I talk about Flume, so Flume can read the data from any type of source data. Okay, so even structured data also it can read. But we have already Scoop in place, and Scoop is more flexible as compared to Flume for structured data. So that is the reason we don't go for structured data for Flume. We don't go. Okay, so we usually Scoop is a more like flexible and more options are there in the Scoop. Okay, so that is the reason. Okay, so this is the point here I describe, and this is all things I describe. Okay, so first we this is the steps are there, like you will be downloading the Scoop, and this is setting the path, and then you will be uh, like downloading the jar, right? The connector jar, and copying the in the Scoop lib folder. And one more thing also you will do, copy this common lang 2.6 jar also, because in the Scoop library having the different version. So we are going to use this version, common lang 2.6. So this jar is some utility jars. Those jars, like basically one jar we need a connector jar, MySQL connector, and the second one is a common lang 2.6 jar. Okay. And we need to install the MySQL, because without MySQL you cannot bring the data. And when you want to set the password, just use this alter command. So first three statement you do first, right? This MySQL installation. So I think you have to simply, no need to follow all the steps, because all the steps is not needed. First you do sudo apt update. Okay, I'm updating in this document. So once before this command you run. Second command is you run the sudo apt install MySQL server. So it will install your MySQL server. And the third command you will run is start your MySQL service. Okay, once you do this MySQL service, so you do MySQL service, and after that, once it's done, just do sudo MySQL command and alter user. You set the password thing. So this password you set password and then come exit, and then you do MySQL you root -p and password is a small password. And then you will see you will get the MySQL prompt. And here you can create database and use database. What you want to do, you can do. So don't follow the entire thing. Just simple three commands you run, and then you set the password by alter user. Okay. If anybody gets difficulty, let me know. Okay. So this is basically, we have configured MySQL, we have configured sqoop. Now next thing is we are creating a one database, and then we are creating a table to import the data from the MySQL. Okay. So I go to MySQL and I'm creating a one table. I am already used database, sqoop new. I'm I have created a table. Okay, so this command all there, you can create any table, but I'm just showing like an example, like how can I bring the EMP table data into Hadoop file system. Okay, and I'm inserting some data. I'm inserting some data, right? Some test data, right? So I can check my data is importing. Okay, so I'm testing. This is an insert into, and this is a second insert into. So I have how many records I inserted now? Two. So two records I inserted. Now if I do select star from table EMP, so I will get the two records. Okay. Now I have to bring this data as a file in Hadoop file system. So what I need to do, prepare? I have to prepare a one sqoop import command. So how to prepare a sqoop import command? Very, very simple. Whenever you are starting the sqoop import command, so for anybody is asking anything? Hmm. Okay, so when I'm just writing a sqoop import command, so I will make sure, right, whatever your database name, you just change the database name. Otherwise, it will not be able to connect, right? And this slash, if you are able to see this slash, this is like new line character. Okay, I'm writing. If you don't want to write in so what you can do, you can write like this also. You can write like this in a single line. Okay, so you don't need a slash. Okay, so sqoop import minus minus connect. So connect is a URL. So what URL is there? For MySQL, this is the URL. JDBC colon MySQL, and my MySQL is installed on my local host, and this is port, and this is my database. So now which database I'm using there? I'm using sqoop new, sqoop underscore new. So I have to change my database, otherwise I will not get the data. Okay, so sqoop underscore new, I change it, and I'm using use SSL false. If I don't use it, I will show you. If I don't use it, then what will happen? If I don't use it, it will give me some handshake error. Okay, even though the data will be imported, but you will get the handshake error. Okay, so SSL error will come. So if I don't want that error, I will use SSL equal to false. I'm saying that I don't want to use any SSL. Okay, I'm making it false. And username is root, password is a password, and table name is a EMP, and delete target dir. So if I don't use it this, what will happen? If I don't use it this, it will be first time it will import, and second time you will run the command, you have to give the new target dir. What is this target dir? Target dir is the path where you want to write the data in Hadoop file system. So I'm saying, okay, my some I have created in Hadoop file system this directory, and there I'm importing folder is import one. So I'm saying the directory, some new directory I'm giving where I want to write the files data. Okay, whatever my database data I want to write as a file in this directory. Okay, and minus M1 is number of mapper. So scoop is a mapper job because it is not having reducer, but some special condition reducer will come, right, when we doing grouping aggregation. Okay, but here this is a simple select statement. What is the select statement? You are reading the data from the table EMP and writing the data to the file in the import one directory. Okay, so now I'm running this command. So you can write the command manually also. Okay, so how to write a command manually? You can do all this keyword you can use, and then you can write. So my scoop import command is running the job. So this scoop import is running. So I told you the SSL error came. This is SSL error, right? So if I don't want this SSL error, so I can avoid it by using SSL exception. So if I don't want this exception, I will use SSL false. Okay. Okay. What error came? Abhi still the one more error came. This error is a connection refuse. Why the connection refuse? Can anyone tell why the connection refuse is coming? What connection it is talking about? It is a RDMS database connection. It's saying connection refused, or some other connection is talking about. Can anyone tell? You can see here. This is actual error. So this is saying something localhost 9000. Is it a MySQL connection error or it is something else?
Hadoop,
The Hadoop,
SDF.
Hadoop, yeah, STFS.
So it is basically it is
Because
saying.
our Hadoop is, we haven't started the Hadoop, right? So that's why it's giving the connection refuse.
Yeah. So we have not started. So we will make sure, right, whenever we are using any Hive or Scoop, all have the dependency of Hadoop. So whenever we are starting Hadoop, then only we can run any other tool or command we can run. So start all.sh, we have to run all the Hadoop services. And once the Hadoop services are running, so this error will not come because this is a 9000 port and Scoop is running on this MySQL is on 3306 port. So that is not the connection problem. Okay. If MySQL service is not running, then you will get the error MySQL is not connected. So that error is different. That error will be coming specifically MySQL connection port, right? That MySQL server is not connected. Okay. But whenever you find this error, just quickly understand this error is because of my Hadoop is not running my Hadoop file system because you are completely using Hadoop file system to write the data, right? So your Hadoop file system should be enabled, right? Okay, it should be your Hadoop is running. Okay, so I have started all services. I will verify the services by this name node, data node, resource manager, node manager, and secondary name node. Okay, once I verified this all is running, I will run my scoop import command. So you know, right? If I run this command again, what will be the problem? Can you tell me? Okay, one problem will be coming. Okay, this scoop URL will be giving SSL error. Okay, so that I will fix it here. Question mark use SSL false. Okay. Okay, this one I fix it, but still one error will come because I'm
Yeah,
trying to
because we
run the
haven't
same.
used the delete target directory.
Yeah, delete target dir. So the issue is if you don't want to use delete target dir, but you can change the name of import directory. If you change it, this is the one option because Hadoop, any command you are running in the Hadoop, it always asks for new directory, ask for new directory. So one option they have given, if you don't want to create manually every time a new directory or delete a existing directory, so you can use this delete target dir option. So if you use this one, delete target dir, if you keep it in this command, Okay, so delete target dir will that part. Okay, let's see first how error looks like. Okay, we don't use the delete target dir. Just I'm running this and see the error. Okay, because you should come to know what error is coming so that you can realize it. Okay, if I'm not changing the directory, so what error will be coming? So it should come output directory already exists. Okay.
So one question is there, means Scoop is converting all the job into MR or
Yeah, this scope is converting job into MapReduce. Okay.
okay.
So
Then
yeah.
why 9,000 is for HDFS? Means if you will run, if you will start just resource, then it should work rather than
See,
start
scoop is okay, scoop command you are giving, but scoop is using like
HDFS.
underlying storage of the Hadoop file system, right? Hadoop
Yeah.
file system, correct? And this
Okay.
Hadoop file system, if you see, like if I don't start the Hadoop, can I run this command Hadoop fs minus ls slash? Abhi right now it will work, but I'm saying before starting Hadoop, it will say same error, connection refused error. Same error will come, connection refused error will come because it means my Hadoop file system is not accessible. So Hadoop file system is already in place. It is not creating a new file system on the fly. Okay, it is already in place, but just you are trying to you are trying to connect it, right? So you need to start it the service. So one service, right? MySQL, how can you access? You have to start the service, right? Then MySQL you are connecting. If you say any like every installation you are doing, it has the service associated with it, right? If that service is not started, can you use that tool or any service? Can you use it? No, right? Correct. So same thing is applicable here, right? Because you are running a scoop. So scoop is trying to connect MySQL database. It will connect because MySQL service is running. But on the other hand, when it is going to write the data, final data, when it's preparing the data and writing to the Hadoop file system, so Hadoop file system service is not running, right? So you have not enabled to write the data. So that is the reason it's saying connection refused. Okay.
Safe mode off also we need to do.
What?
Safe mode leave.
Safe mode?
There is a means we need to every time if we are writing into HDFS, then we need to do safe mode leave.
Safe mode is needed when within 30 seconds you are doing any command. Okay. If you are doing after 30 seconds, you don't need to do safe mode to leave, right? Because initially why it is start in the safe mode, Hadoop file system, because it is preparing the fs image or edit log file, right? Fs image, I told you the memory copy of the metadata. So this
Uh-huh.
metadata copy, it is preparing when it is starting. See, generally it is not happening in the real time because who is going to start Hadoop service again? This is my local machine, right? Okay, so my local machine, I'm not keeping it all the time, my system on, right? When my system is down, so who is going to access? Nobody is going to access my local machine, right? When my machine is down, right? Because my machine is not on the internet, right? My machine is not in a network, right? Got my point? Okay. But the
Okay.
same thing when it comes to the network or same things like when you have in the companies, so they have already the services are keep running. Okay. They will be not making it down. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So simply here Hadoop file system we started. Okay. And now you see that here is no error come, right? Why the error didn't come? Because the last time when the Hadoop file system was not connected, so even the directory is not correct created. So that the logic is we were thinking the directory is created, so we should change the directory name or we should. Uh, so reason is if Hadoop is not connected, how it can create directory, right? So the logic is that's the reason it didn't give the error. Okay, my sqoop import command runs successfully without changing the directory, right? Because it was not connected to Hadoop file system and it was not able to create a directory. So that is the reason it didn't give the error. Okay. But generally, if I'm trying now it will definitely give the error because now my directory is created. Okay. Okay. If I run my sqoop import again with the same directory, Now I will get the error. Okay, because see, the error has come. So this time it will be saying output directory already exists. So this directory already you got the data and you are trying to create the same directory again. So it is not possible. Only the possibility is like when you are giving delete target dir you give, so that will delete the directory and recreate again. Okay, now I check my data. Okay, so in this directory, like some file is created, I will check the file in this directory. I will verify my data. Okay, so every time whenever you importing data, there the two files will be created. One file name is a success file. Success file, you know, even MapReduce job when you run is success file is a 0 size file. Why it is created? Actually, the success file is an indicator like your data is copied successfully. Sometimes when I'm not having any log, right? How can I identify my data is successfully done or not? When the data is completely successfully, like the job is completed successfully, then only this success file will be created. So if you are able to check through the shell script, if you are able to check through the shell script in this particular folder, if success file is there, that means your data is successfully imported. Okay, or your job is successfully completed. So this is kind of indication file, indicator. It is kind of indicator. Okay, nothing else. Okay, the main important file is this file. This file, your data is imported. So if I check the Hadoop fs minus cat command, then I can see. Okay, so my data is the same data, right? Whatever data is here, same data is coming, same two records. Okay, so header is not coming because we are importing data. Okay, so you are like getting the two records, like one is ID name age, ID name age, right? So there are more variations are there, like okay, we want only some filter condition, or I want instead of comma delimited, I want dollar terminated. Okay, so all these variations are there, right? We will be doing these small variations we will do. Okay, so now first thing is we will do the delete target dir. Okay, so if I run this one, delete target dir, what will be the advantage? Any number of time you run again and again, you will not have to create a new directory, or you don't need to create. Okay, so we don't need to create a new directory again. So I'm running again my sqoop import. Okay, but this time I'm using delete target dir. Okay, so it will if you will see the same place, your result will come, but with the updated time, date and time will change, because it will recreate, right? It will delete the existing and it will recreate. Okay, so we don't need to worry about to create a new directory. Okay, so once this sqoop import is done, then we can check the same directory. So here two things we have seen. One is a delete target dir, okay, and use SSL, right? So these are the two things we have used here. Okay, so delete target dir is okay. So if you see the same location, same file, like okay, first we see ls command. Can you see the new time? This is what is command I given import sqoop test. Oh, okay, this is the old directory I have run it. So sqoop test is actually I didn't change the sqoop new. So this data I have got it sqoop new, but this one is a sqoop test. Okay, so I've checked with the sqoop test. So just make sure, right, which file or which data you are locating. Okay, so same data. If you check here sqoop test, so it will be 9:15 data is loaded, 9:16. 21:16, and now the time is 9:17. Okay, so it means this is the latest data. This is the latest data. So make sure whenever you are doing the import command, copy paste you are doing, so just make sure which directory you are giving and which directory you are checking. Okay, because my case is different directories are created already. Okay. So this one is a one variation. Next one is, suppose I want to bring the field terminated by dollar. Okay. So same command, just only I'm adding a one more parameter, field terminated by. So field terminated by field hyphen fields hyphen terminated hyphen by, and giving in the single quote dollar. You can give pipe symbol or you can give hash symbol, any symbol you can give. Okay.
Here m-1 is we are using one mapper, or I forgot.
There is no -1. M, where is -1? Minus M1 is there, not M -1. It's a minus M1. So that is minus M is a parameter name, number of mappers, and by default, okay, by default, 4 mappers are there. If I don't give it, it will take 4 mappers. Okay, like 4 output file. Your data will be, but my data is a 2 records, right? So only 2 files will be created empty. But generally minus M1 is taking only one mapper, right? Your one output file will be created. But you can increase this number. Even 6 you can give, 8 you can give. The reason of this minus M parameter to increase the number of mapper to speed up your scoop import, right? Because your number of mappers are more than like 3, 4. But for that case, you have to use split by column also. Because split by column is it is deciding in which column you want to distribute your data. Suppose I say I have 100 record and I'm using minus M6. So 2020 record group, right? It will form. Okay. It equally divide. Okay. So last one will get whatever is remaining. Okay. So you can use like, okay, minus M2 I'm using here. So what I'm saying here, split by ID I'm using. Okay. So this minus M parameter, I mean, right now I'm using minus M1. So it will using just like only one output file I want. I don't want to create for two files, right? But if my need is I have 100 record and I want to distribute into 6 file or 10 files, parallelly they will start downloading. Okay. But I need to choose one more extra column minus split by. Okay. So let's see this data first. Okay. See, these are the more variations are there. How many records came? 3 record. Why 3 came? Because but our table has the 2 record only. Actually, I'm using a different database. Actually, I'm telling you, whenever you are changing your parameters, you have to change. So my sqoop database in EMP table has 3 record. So if I check use sqoop database and show tables, here also EMP table is there. So select start from EMP. So I have a 3 records here, 1, 2, 3. Let's see the data. We can come to know what exactly. So what is the import directory? So import directory is sqoop test import 1. So my existing directory, it is deleting this sqoop test import 1, the same directory. Now 2119. This is the new file came. Okay. And what is the file name? This is my file name. And I will see Hadoop fs cat command. Scoop underscore test slash import 1 slash part hyphen m and 5 zeros. Can you see this is the same data? And this time the data is coming dollars terminated, right? So whatever options you will give, your import will be done in the same, right? Your import will be done in the same, right? Okay, so you have given the terminated by dollar, so your data is coming dollar separated. Okay, so as many as parameter you can increase. Okay, the whatever parameter has the functionality, that parameter will work as it is. Okay, like you are adding a target dir, so it will delete the existing directory. If you are using field terminated by dollar, so it will apply the dollar in the field separation. Suppose you say I have a table emp and I want to column only 2 columns, and I want to say where clause also. I say I don't want the ID 1, ID 1. I want ID 2 and 3. So what ID value I will give here? ID greater than 1. So when I give ID greater than 1, so this ID will not come. Only 2 and 3 will come. And I want only 2 columns. I'm saying here, I don't want the age column. So ID name column will come. Okay. So whatever you are giving here, so that will come. Okay. So here, suppose in my sqoop my new database, and here is only 2 records are there, 1 and 2. So only second one will come. What will come? Second one will come. Okay. And how many columns will come? Only ID and name. Age will not come. Okay. So I'm running this sqoop import. So it's just like you would just change the parameter and run the sqoop import. It will work, and then you can understand, okay, what the changes you are doing, how these changes are reflected in your output. Okay, because whatever changes you do in your sqoop import, it will reflect in your output. Okay. Okay. So how many record is retrieved? Only one. And total, how many were there in the MySQL? 2. So one came. So let's see in which directory. This is a sqoop test directory, sqoop new directory, because sqoop new we did. So sqoop new. So first we see what is the date and time. This is the latest date and time, 9:23. So it means our data is the latest data. This is the one. Okay. So I will check this file, Hadoop fs-cat. And what is the delimited character I use? Dollar I use. How many columns are coming? 2. And how many records are coming? So can you see, right, when where clause is basically filtering your number of record, and minus minus column is filtering your number of columns, right? So there is no age column, right? In the data you have age column, but here record not getting, right? So you are filtering here your number of columns and number of rows. So number of columns are filtered by minus minus column and minus minus where. So there is a other alternate is there, I will tell about, that is minus minus query like parameter. So you can write this emp table column and where condition in the SQL query. So SQL query, you don't need to give these all three different parameter. Instead of that, only one you will use minus minus query. You will use minus minus query like this. You will use minus minus query. Okay, I will show that. Then you don't need to use all these three. Okay. So you can write a condition, you can write the columns, and you can write the table, all three in together in a minus minus query. Okay, let's see this one. Suppose you have to import more than one output file. Abhi right now, minus m you can use, or minus minus num mappers. They're the two parameters, both are same. Okay, so there is no default reducer. So it is creating always the mapper output file. Okay, your output file is coming as a mapper file because minus m means mapper. Okay, and when the reducer file comes, when you are doing some group aggregation things you are doing, then output is coming as a reducer file. Abhi right now, if I am going to do this minus m2, I'm not using the one. If I don't use this clause, if I don't use split by column, then what will happen? Okay, we will do experiment. We don't give this minus minus split by, just simply minus m2 I'm giving and running this. Okay, and I'm using sqoop new database. Okay, I say my new table, sqoop new, and table name is emp. Okay, now, and this is the directory sqoop test. I will use sqoop new. Anything you can use, whatever, because we are using delete target area. Okay, so I copy this and run now. Okay, so I'm using minus m parameter, but what is saying? Are you getting the same problem, right? What I told you, right? Minus minus split by or perform a sequential import minus m. So it is giving a choice. Either you don't use minus M2, you use minus M1, so you don't need to use split by column. If you want to use split by column, means you want more than one mapper output file, use split by column with minus M more than one value. Okay, so you are going to use this option, split by. Okay, so now I will be running my sqoop import. If you have all the parameters ready, you can test quickly, okay? Because you should have the command ready, and then you don't need to, you need to understand the command, but at least first time when you are practicing, you should have command ready, and then you can do practice quickly, and you can understand how this import is working. So see, this time a little bit change came. What change came here? If you see here, previously 0 mapper, 100 mapper comes because it was a single file. If I show you previous sqoop import, just check this previous sqoop import. This is a previous one with where we did the minus M1. Can you see 0 to 100? Directly jump to 100 because it is 1. Now we have done 2 mapper. So with 2 mappers, it jump in the 2 step, right? Because it divided into the 2, right? So 0 to 50 and 50 to 100. If I say 3, it will become 0 to 33, 32 to 66, and 90, 100, like that. And if you have 4, 25, 25, 25, 25, like this, it will be jump. Okay. So it is like a processing, right? It is showing processing things, right? How processing is happening. Okay. So when I see here the 5 records, because I have taken the different database, right? Sqoop test. This is not a sqoop new. So if I check this location, sqoop test import to. So first we look at how many files are created. Hadoop FS, LS. How many files? 2 files, 0 file and 1 file, right? 0001 and 0000. So if I see this one, and if I do Hadoop FS minus cat, so total 5 record it said, and 2 records are coming in 1 file because it's equally cannot be divided, right? Because 1 record will be extra, right? So the other one is 0001, which has 3 record. But suppose if you are doing the our 2 records one, so definitely it will be 1 only. Okay, so if I say sqoop new directory, okay, and here I give my database sqoop new, right? Because that emp table has 2 record. So I give here sqoop new. Okay, now I change my database, I change my target location. Okay, so how many record will go to each file if the number of records are 2?
Each one.
1 it will go, because 1 record will be going into 1 file, 1 record will be going into 1 file. But 3 records are there, so definitely 1 file will take 2 record and 1 will take 1 record. So that distribution will be done. But if it is a equal is there, so definitely it's a fair one, right? Because everyone will get the equal. So again here it will be 0 to 50 is the 1 and 50 to 100 is second. Okay. So importing, it looks like it's taking time, right? Even 2 records, because generally this sqoop import is done for the large number of record, like very large amount of data. Because the process is the same, right? Even you are doing import for 3 record or 10 record or 1000 record. So little bit processing time different, but most of the times it is fetching the metadata, okay, importing data, right? So those time will definitely go even it is 2 record or 100 record or 10,000 record. Okay, so now I check my location. So scoop new. So scoop new folder. So file name will be the same. File name will not change. Okay, this is the part 00001 and this is the part 00. So one record is there. Same one test 23 and one test 24. So can you see here one test, the previous one test 23 and two test 124. Okay, so one record came. Okay, so this is we seen that how this split by and minus m works together. Now next thing we are going to see free from query. Okay, free from query is, right, I don't need to write all this table, column and condition. So everything we can write in a single query, and that is called free from query. The only difference is here, the connect parameters will be same, because this connect parameter we need always, right? Because without this connect parameter, we cannot connect to the SQL DB. But you can see here one more parameter we are using, dollar condition. What is dollar condition? If you don't use this dollar condition, like I have prepared a one example without dollar condition. Okay, this one. If I'm writing as just simply select ID, name, age from table and where ID greater than 1. Even if you don't have the where clause, but this dollar condition is a must. It is a mandatory clause. Okay, your scoop import will fail, and it is used by the scoop internally. Okay, dollar condition you have to give just like a dollar condition. Okay, so if you don't give the dollar condition in a query, okay, in the where clause, so your import will fail and it will say you have to use dollar condition in the query. So you see dollar condition is must contain dollar condition in where clause. So this errors are predefined. Okay, you cannot force it, right? You have to follow their instructions, right? Because if they are saying dollar condition is needed, so you have to use dollar. So even you don't want to use condition, suppose you say I don't want to use condition, but dollar condition will remain there. If I'm giving some extra condition, so that will filter out the rows. Like suppose I'm saying here ID is greater than 1. So only two IDs will come, second and third, or if ID two records are there, so only one extra record. But if I'm not using this ID condition, so my all record will come, but I have to give dollar condition. So I will apply on the new database. Okay, scoop new, and I will give scoop new. Okay, and I'm saying here ID greater than 1. So how many record I should get it as per this scoop import? I should get it 1 only. Okay, if I remove that ID greater than 1, I will get both the record. Okay, because if condition I'm not giving, if my own condition I'm not giving, but dollar condition you have to give in the where clause. See, it is done. How many records are coming? 1. So if I see my target dir, this is my target here. So Hadoop fs minus ls. Okay, now what is given? 14, not 1, 1, 4. Okay, so in this one, if you see this part-time file is created. Okay, so data verification I'm doing every time, but you understand, right? Data verification things you have to do with the same process, right? Just find or even the file name is the same, right? Okay, just your import folder, whatever your import folder, just put the file name. You can directly test by cat command. Okay, so don't need to check ls again and again. Okay, so cat command you can check the data. So only one record is coming. Okay, so this is the use of dollar condition that is making it this one. Okay, so till here it's done. Okay, let's continue tomorrow. These are very small two commands also there. Like I told you, the list databases and list tables. if I want to know how many databases are there, how many tables are there in your database, it is just an information. So when you are doing the list databases, you don't need to give any database name because it will find all the databases name. So when I run this command, it will show me all the database name. Can you see here? In my scoop, it is showing all these databases, right? I created a new one, scoop test, scoop new, right? I created. And if I want to see particular database tables, list of tables, so just I run and give the, okay, if I give here scoop new, it will tell me what are the tables are there in this scoop new. So I go here and run this. So I will see here how many tables are there. So only one table. Okay. If you want to change any other database, like I say scoop test. So scoop test database has how many tables? 3 tables. Okay. If I want to check any other database, okay, scoop. So it is just information giving. It is not doing any import thing. Just like sometimes you don't know, you don't have access of MySQL. You don't have access and you want to check how many databases are there, how many tables are there. So that you can do. Okay.
Can you also show us for incremental load?
See, everything will not be in a one day. Okay, because
Okay.
I designed like 3 days for the scoop. Okay, and you want to do, I'm telling you, you check my, there are the 3 sessions are there. Okay, all 3 are there, scoop 1, scoop 2, scoop 3. You can do practice. See, I want to say like everyone should go with the pace, right? No need to hurry, right? Okay, you can do, you can, here incremental, you go and open this document. Here are the, this,
You are not sharing your screen. Can you share and show
okay,
us?
1 second, yeah. 1 second. So I have already given the classroom links, right? Already.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
this
so there are.
particular one, if you go to big data training one, anyone, like whatever, everyone has the same material. Okay. Okay. And I will already
I will
up
check it out.
in our one, I will upload it all the documents together. Okay. But I will do one by one. Actually, I don't want to do everything in a, but initially everybody should install first and do basic first scoop session 1. Okay. And once scoop session 1, then you can go incremental, and third session is for the Hive import and export. Okay. Yeah.
Got it. Now I will go through.
Okay. Yeah.